Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 15. Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. And here we go again. Here you have the Dominican Day Parade that took place, I believe Sunday, where all hell broke loose. Two people were killed or shot, a couple others injured. This happens every year, man. Whether it's the Puerto Rican Day Parade, the Dominican Day Parade, the West Indian Day Parade, it's the same result each and every year. But you get Negroes and Latinos to go to it every single year. It's pretty much they're saying to themselves, this is the year that I think I should be put to death. Because you're taking the chance going out there every year knowing there's going to be violence. Things are going to happen. This is why the Lord tells you to come out of America, man, the American way. Because none of these parades are celebrating who you are, man. You so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans are Israelites. You're not no fucking Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, West Indians, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Haitians, St. Thomas. You're none of that, man. You're Israelites. You're not black, right? But you insist on going against the Lord, man. When you go to these parades and and when you're in too deep with America, you're against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? Because the Lord said what? Let's get it. This is mm, this is James chapter 4 and verse 4. It says, "Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High?" Right? That means that you hate the Most High, and the Most High ain't dealing with you, man. It said, "Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua." And our people love to be enemies to the Heavenly Father. Because there's a huge culture and a huge trend to where you got so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans saying that they don't believe in the Most High. They don't care what the Bible says. They don't care what His Word says, right? I'm going to do me. I'm an American. If I want to do this, I'm going to do this. If I want to do that, I'm going to do that. Nobody can't tell me nothing. This is the mindset of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, 2/3 of our people, man. And they're going to be destroyed through what? Gun violence, right? So the warning is out, especially here in New York City, right? Where this truth is all over the place. Jake would rather just be in tune with America and what America got going on, man. I'm Dominican. I'm going to celebrate my culture and heritage. What is it, man? What is your culture and heritage, man? Because every time y'all come out for this day to celebrate it, somebody always dying. So that's your culture? That's your heritage? The Lord said what? That I just read in Isaiah 54 and 15. He that gather against thee shall fall for thy sake. How you gonna fall? Through gun violence, man. Because you hate the Lord. So let's play it, man. I got 2 clips. We're gonna play it. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah willing to let me other fire shalom.
Now, to that outbreak of violence near the Bronx Dominican Parade, the shootings and stabbings coming just hours after Mayor Adams and the NYPD touted new record lows for gun violence all across New York City. New York's Tracy Strand's in High Bridge following this all. Tracy.
But Michael, we're talking about 3 separate incidents of shootings, all within about an hour span, and all of them happening near what was supposed to be a festive occasion.
We was all walking, and then bow, like we just heard bow, bow, bow.
Authorities say the first shooting happened shortly after 6 o'clock last night. A 24-year-old man was shot in the buttocks near Grand Concourse and Elliott Place. About 40 minutes later, officers discovered a 19-year-old woman and man. That woman shot in her ankle, the man in his neck. That was at East 170th and Sheridan Avenue. A third shooting was reported more than 2 miles away from the first, with officers discovering a 23-year-old man shot in his stomach. And while the victims in each incident are expected to make a full recovery, this is violence that really shook this neighborhood.
And you see, for one, the Bronx, I live in the city. The Bronx, I don't like, man. Every time I drive through there, it's like a feeling I have that I need to get out, man. You know, you got all the boroughs in New York City that are bad, but the Bronx, I think the Bronx is the highest of demonic activity there is in the whole city. So I stand corrected. It was 4 people that was shot. You know, and the Lord, you know, spare them. You know, hopefully they get right. But knowing Jake is fucking hard-headed, man. He'll celebrate his recovery and come out and you know, be worse off than he was before he got shot, man. But hey, it don't always happen that way. This is Proverbs 17 and 11. An evil man seeketh only rebellion, and 2/3 of our people are rebellious. Right? Very rebellious, man. Right? It says, therefore, a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. Who's that? A death angel. An angel of judgment. Right? Even though they survived, the Lord sent that to them as a warning. They may not believe that. They may feel like their strength got them through it, but that was the Lord that saved you, man. That spared your life. But there's going to be more of this going on, man, because Jake is rebellious as hell.
I heard like 2. At first, they thought it was fireworks. Then when I was running, I heard the cop say, shots fired, shots fired.
So far, the NYPD has not determined if any of those shootings are in fact related to the Dominican Day Parade in the Bronx yesterday. But it's violence that came after Mayor Adams announced the city reached a positive milestone, getting 3,000 illegal firearms off the streets since the beginning of this year. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch noted that this year, the department has had the lowest number of shooting victims in the city's history. As you're bringing back live, the investigation, however, into those 3 separate shooting incidents is still very much underway since no arrests have been made. We're live in the High Bridge section of the Bronx. Tracy Strahan, today in New York.
So, like I said, every year is the same thing. Every year. And our people love it. Our people love it so, man. Let's get 1 Thessalonians. I got this other clip. Pretty much the same. This is 1 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1, it says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you." Because we know what time it is, man. We know we at the end. Right? It says, "For yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." And this thing happened, out of nowhere. You heard the Jake said, next 1 minute we was walking and we just heard bow, bow, bow. Right? It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them." Oh, gun violence is down. We removed over 1,500 firearms off the street. New York is a safer place. "When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Those that wasn't supposed to escape, they didn't escape, man. It says, "But ye, brethren, are not in darkness." Those of us that are in this truth, we're not in darkness, man. Right? It says that day should overtake you as a thief. "Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness." Why? Because we have this truth, man. This truth is the light. Right? This truth helps you to see things that are going on. This truth helps you to see, the world the way it is. And it's an evil world, man. Right? It says, "Therefore, let us not sleep as do others." How are people sleep? They're in tune with the ways of this world, man. They're in tune with the ways of Babylon the Great. And this place got you in a fucking sleep, man, that you can't wake up from. It said, "As do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation." Because that's our hope, man, that we be saved out of this shit, man. You see Jake at these parades, man, they just completely, just going off, man. Right? And a lot of these, not all, but a lot of these so-called Dominicans, man, they hella proud, man. Right? They are hella proud. They come over here, they think they Edomites, they think they white. You're not white, man. You a Spanish-speaking nigga, and that's what they will call you. Right? They don't look at you no different than the so-called Negro in this country, man. They don't. And this devil is about to show you, man. He's really about to show you, how he really feels about you. And if you ask me, these things happen in one day, 3 separate shootings in 3 different places. This might have well been Esau Edom doing this, man. Right? Simultaneous shootings on the same night during the parade. Come on, man. It's crazy, man. But Jake he's not going to understand, man. He's not going to listen either. This is Micah. Because the Lord commands us to come out of America, Babylon the Great, spiritually, man. Leave this place in the dust. Yeah, you got to work here. You got to, obtain a life here. You got to do what you got to do to survive. But spiritually, be disconnected, man. Jake don't want to be disconnected. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." Because it is polluted. This whole country is polluted, man. It's polluted with the bloodshed of you Israelites. Is corrupt. All of that, man. It says, "It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction." And this is going to destroy a lot of our people, man. A lot of our people are already destroyed mentally, but it's going to destroy you physically, and it's going to take your life if you continue in it, man. Right? That's what it's going to do. But a lot of our people, like I said, they love it so, man. They say, "Oh, we got to go anyway. I got to die anyway, man. I might as well be happy when I go. I might as well do the things that I love to do when I go, right before I go." Jake is ignorant, man. He's very ignorant. You know? But whatever. So let's watch this clip. I got a couple more. We're going to shut it down.
To the Bronx now, a manhunt underway for the attackers who shot and killed 2 men in a parking lot in Throgs Neck this morning. This after a violent weekend in the borough. Specifically, 3 people were shot. Another person was stabbed following the Bronx Dominican Parade yesterday on the Grand Concourse. Eyewitness News reporter Joe Torres live in Fordham as the search continues for those responsible for that post-parade violence. Joe?
Sandra, it is so often true. People don't remember facts as much as they remember stories. So when they hear the mayor recite facts about the reduction in crime and in shootings, and they compare those numbers to their stories regarding life experiences here in the Bronx, well, the two are diametrically opposed, and those people point to the last 24 hours as an example. One day after the Bronx Dominican Parade, the NYPD returned to the Grand Concourse, not to investigate a shooting or a stabbing, but to pick up the police barriers that lined the parade route. But the violence that marred the festive celebration still sits top of mind for many of the people who live here.
It's supposed to be a day where you have fun, celebrate your country, and bad things happen. So it's like, when are you going to stop? You know?
Yesterday's violence happened during a 90-minute span shortly after the conclusion of the parade. 2 people shot and injured, and 1 person stabbed, all very close to the parade route along the Grand Concourse. Further away from the parade, another shooting injured a 23-year-old male. The gun violence continued into this morning with the fatal shooting of 2 young men in Throgs Neck. In each case, the gunman or attacker got away. The gun violence of yesterday and today came after a Sunday news conference organized by the mayor and police commissioner. Together, they announced historic reductions in the number of shootings across the 5 boroughs. They highlighted the NYPD's removal of 3,000 illegal guns taken off the streets in the first half of the year.
We are at the lowest number of shooting incidents and the lowest number of shooting victims ever recorded in New York City.
So here you got them taking guns off the street, but the same man that's taking the guns off the street, his system is putting the guns in the street. So it's a lose-lose, man. You take 3,000 plus guns off the street, and then by next week, you got 10,000 plus guns back on the street, man. Right? So it's pretty much it's fucking hypocritical, man. And this man is a huge hypocrite, man. Right? His system is hypocritical. Right? This whole country is a hypocrisy, man. And it's full of lies and deceit. That's all it is, man.
Back on the streets of the Bronx, the mayor's eye-opening facts and the people's everyday experiences represent 2 very different realities. In their eyes, crime now is just as bad as it was years and decades ago.
Things that he's saying are not true. There's more violence, more guns in these streets than ever.
I don't believe.
And let me get this. Let me be clear. When the mayor and them says that gun violence is down, that does not mean in the areas where you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans dwell at, man. That's concerning the major parts in New York City. The parts that the money run through. The money don't run through you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, man, in your neighborhoods, rather. You'll go to certain places and spend your money, but in your neighborhood, money does not come through there, man. Like, you know, you got Battery Park, you got you know, what's Cobble Hill, you got Park Avenue, you got, you know, over there by Central Park. Those areas, that's where he means crime is down. Not in you hood, not in the hood, man. So the sister, she was right about that, man. He is fucking lying, man. Because the system is a goddamn lie. You know, here it is. You know, crime is every goddamn where in the city, man. But this nigga get his shaved face and his retarded ass voice and get up there and say how crime is down and New York City is the safest place in America. Nigga, you out of your mind, man. You out of your goddamn mind. Go speak to the people that live in the hood and ask them, is crime down? And they'll tell you the truth. But, you know, the spokespersons for the system, they always gonna lie, man. They're always gonna lie. They say crime is down in the subway when crime has been up the most ever in the subway, man. Crazy.
More violence, more guns in these streets than ever.
I don't believe that there are that many differences from now compared to then when it comes to the way that crime occurs.
The shootings yesterday, not far from the Grand Concourse, they were not fatal. The shootings this morning were deadly. 2 young men died. We'll have more on that coming up on our next reports on Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock and at 6 o'clock, and a little bit more on the juxtaposition between the facts from the mayor and the perspective of the people. In the Bronx, I'm Joe Torres, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
So, you know, I believe the woman, man. I believe her. I believe her, man. She gonna tell you the truth. Right? But, you know, like they said, the people that were shot during the parade, they lived, but there was a shooting in the morning, I mean the wee hours in the morning, and 2 people died, man. But the fact of the matter is that our people here in America, they love this place, man. They don't want to go nowhere. Right? They have made a covenant with this place. And when you make a covenant with America, Babylon the Great, you have made a covenant with death, man. This is Isaiah 28 and verse 15. It says, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement with hell, man, meaning the lower state. Our people are as long as you can give them a fucking parade and the weekend off, a bottle of Don Julio and an ounce of weed, a pound of weed or whatever, they're good, man. Leave me alone. I'm going to get high. I'm going to turn up. I'm going to party. Right? I'm free to do what I want. I'm good. Right? So with hell, they are at agreement. It says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through it, it shall not come unto us. Yeah, so when all this judgment is flowing out, our people, they tend to think that it ain't going to touch them. This is why they go to the parades every year. This is why they do things that can get them put to death, man, because they don't think in their mind that it can be them. This is the spirit that America has put on our people, man, that they're invincible. It says, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge. Right? America. They taking hold of America. The Christian church. That's considered death, man. Because what you get in the Christian church, nothing but lies. You don't get no knowledge. You're not told who you are. You're not gaining anything, man. But ignorance and stupidity. Right? So it says, we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves, man. Yeah, because they're content with the way their lives are here. Not all our people. 2/3 of our people. They are content, man, with the way their lives are. So the Lord got a judgment for them. Right? This will be my last one. We're going to shut it down. This is Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 1. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord, power unto the land of Israel, man, the people. And the end is come upon the 4 corners of the earth. So the Lord is about to bring judgment on the 4 corners of the earth in a way that you have never seen, man. Right? You think now is bad. Wait till this shit gets really diabolical, man, in your face. Right? Verse 3. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, man. You want to be a nigga? You're going to get what a nigga deserves, man. You're going to get the reward of a nigga. You're a sinner, you're going to get the reward of a sinner. And a nigga is a sinner, man. Right? It says, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. My eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee. And thine abomination shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, man. The Lord already put us under curses, man. We're still under the curses. This is why where we live is so bad. This is why you're in the worst parts of the city. This is why you are plagued by gang violence, and you are plagued to where you can't even walk in your neighborhood that you lived in for 20, 30 years, 40 years, and feel safe because you are under curses, man. You are under curses. And the only time that you're going to get relieved of the curses is when the Lord returns, man. When Yahushua returns, man. Ain't no amount of guns off the street. Ain't no amount of niggas locked up, niggas dead is going to stop the curses on you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, man. You're going to be under these curses till the Lord returns, man, because you are fucking rebellious, you're hard-headed, and you got a stiff neck, man. So the Lord is going to judge you according to your ways. You do good, you receive good. You do bad, you receive bad. You follow the Lord and seek the Lord, you will have favor. You don't, you die. Simple as that, man. So the point was made, man. You know, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. Repent, man, because it's about to get hella worse out here. Shalom.